Patient, peaceful,
Peaceful.
purposeful, having a purpose,
Mhm.
provider. Parson, there you go, Parson. Problem solver, What else? Planner, prioritize, somebody who knows how to prioritize. By the way, ladies know how to prioritize very well. You didn't write that down here, but I'm gonna give it to you. Ladies know their priorities very well. In fact, they showed this picture of a lady in India. She was carrying 2 utensils of water on her head. You know how they carry water on their head like this? Those 2 big jugs. And she's holding her kid in her hand. And 2 utensils on her head, and she's going to walk 2 miles to take the water home. So this is a lesson in priority. Now, what happens if she trips? Who's she going to drop first? The water, not the child, right? She's got her priorities down pat. And it happens all the time. Ladies trip, they drop the utensil, but they hang on to the child. So that's a great lesson in priority. And ladies have that. It's ingrained in them. Okay, so let's go back to P for priority. What about I?
Interest.
Interest, having interest, like shopping is an interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, decorating is an interest. Being fashionable is an interest. Intuitive, being intuitive, yes. Innovative, in the moment, being in the moment. Okay, now happy people are very intuitive. Why is that? Because they're in the moment. When you're present in the moment, like for instance, if I'm present in the moment right here, and if I see somebody's about to fall down, I'll get him, I'll go help him right away because I'm present. I'm here, I'm in the moment. I'm not thinking about something else. I'm in the moment. Okay? Happy people are independent. You want to be happy, be independent. Don't depend on other people. That's the first thing you want to learn if you want to be happy is be independent. Start doing things yourself. Even if you do a lousy job of it, still doing it yourself will get you more happiness, right? Okay, what about with N? Nice, neat and organized, non-judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
Happy people are non-judgmental. Anytime you hear somebody criticizing somebody else, they're not happy people. They're not happy. If you're judging somebody else, oh, look at her clothes. Oh my God, how can she dress up like this? But guess what? Anybody who's talking like that is not a happy person. I guarantee you all day long. Because they're hiding. There's people who try to look good by making other people look bad. And that's not a sign of happiness. You want to look good by making other people look good. Okay? So happy people are nature lovers. Happy people love nature. You give them a choice of air conditioning or opening the windows at night, guess what they'll pick? AC. Right? Okay, so what else? Happy people are non-judgmental, nature lover, nurturing. Right? What else? Happy people are, can you give me a word that's forgiving, but it starts with one of these letters? Accepting. Happy people are accepting.
Mm-hmm.
A, accepting. Okay, so we're up to E now. E. Happy people are empathetic. Energetic. Happy people know how to manage their energy. Mm-hmm. You have to know how to manage your energy. There's times when you want to be jumping, and there's times when you want to be tired. Mm-hmm. Right? And you need both. Because if you're jumping at bedtime, you have a problem. Whereas if you're, or it could be good. But, or E, what else with E? Empathetic, energetic, enthusiastic. Mm-hmm. Okay, encouraging. Happy people are encouraging.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Efficient. Happy people are very efficient.
Empathetic.
Right? Empathetic. Right? What's another word for listener, good listener that starts with one of these letters? Attentive. Mm-hmm. Attentive. Happy people are attentive. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go with S. Stable. Sincere. Sensitive. Secure. Mm-hmm. Safe. Mm-hmm. Right? Soft-spoken. Mm-hmm. Oh, another one with P. I forgot. Happy people have good phone manners. Yes. Yeah. Happy people have good phone manners. And I'll prove it to you. let's say you don't have good phone manners and you text while you drive. How long are you going to be happy? Not very long. Yeah, that's multitasking, all right. Not very long, right? Right? Because yeah, you're going to have a collision, and that's why if you notice the insurance companies are having the hardest time because there's so many rear end going on. People are hitting each other because they're texting while driving. So happy people have good phone manners. Another thing, let's say you don't have good phone manners and you're talking to somebody very important, and your phone rings. All of a sudden you forget about that person and you start answering the phone. Well, guess what happened? You just ruined your credibility with that person. Like especially if he's an important person who's going to give you a job or something, and you just neglected that person to attend the phone. You know, so phone manners is very, very crucial. And in fact, I do a class on phone manners and etiquettes. If you're ever interested, that's a 1-hour presentation. It's very good, very effective. Okay, so with S, let's go back to S. Stable, soft-spoken, sincere, sensitive.
That's a good.
Sophisticated. Success is actually an outcome of being happy. Success is not a habit, it's an outcome. If you have all these habits, you're going to make a lot of allies, you're going to make a lot of friends, and the success is going to come, right? If you have good habits, the success is going to come. It's not a habit, it's a derivative. It's a outcome.
Result.
Yeah.
Product.
Okay, so if you remember this word happiness, you can pretty much humor, you can pretty much fill all that, right? Sharing, shopping, shopping is sing and dance. Happy people love to sing and dance. Compassionate could be empathetic. Affectionate, decorate, multitask. Decorate is interest, nurturing, sensitive, awareness. Forgiving is accepting. Empathetic, fashionable is also interest. Adorable, patient. Resilient could be thick-skinned or skin, right? Assertive, athletic, punctual, hopeful, stable, humor, safety, provide, sincere. Technically oriented could be adaptive, right? Because if you're adapting to the new age. Creative is interest, problem solver, humor, and focused is attentive. So all we need to do is remember the word happiness, and you can derive all those. Okay? So what I want you to do is every day before you go to bed for the next 20 days, just remember the word happiness and see how many you can remember. And see how many you practice at night before you go to bed. See how many habits you practice today. Okay? And see which ones you left out, and then use that the next day to start your day with those habits. Okay? And if you do that for 20 days, these habits will become ingrained in you, because you have to do something 19 times to become a habit. That's why in a carton of cigarette, how many cigarettes do they have? You know why? Because it takes 19 times to make it a habit. So they give you 20 so that they want to make sure that they got you. So we're going to use the same logic here. So for 20 days, don't share none. For 20 days, I want you to do this. Okay. So now let me ask you this one question. So we talked about if we have more habits, good habits are like a blessing, right? If you have good habits, they're a blessing. So we said earlier that if we can increase our blessings and decrease our stress, we'll be happier, right? So we figured out a way to increase our blessings, because all these habits are good blessing. You know, when you share, that's a blessing. When you're empathetic, that's a blessing, because other people are going to be empathetic to you, right? Whatever you give to other people, you're going to get it back. So that's the simple rule. So now let's talk about how we can reduce some stress. Okay, so because if you can reduce some stress, then that equation makes it even more powerful. Okay, so most people are unhappy because they have problems which cause stress, right? We are unhappy because we have certain problems. Maybe it's a health problem, maybe it's a family problem, marriage problem, whatever we have, is that's what causes us to be stressed. So if we can somehow learn to be a good problem solver. Now, a good problem solver is a person who can turn their problems into a gift, right? If you can turn your problems into a gift, would you be happy?
Yes.
All day long, right? All day long. I mean, think about it. If you have a health problem, all of a sudden you figure out how to fix it, and not only fix it for yourself, but fix it for other people. Are you happy? Right? All day long. So let's figure out how we can turn our problems into a gift. And by the way, our body and nature does that automatically. We just don't realize it. You know, the reason we have all these modern amenities and air conditioners is because one day they were a problem. You know, at one time it was a problem because the heat was getting to us, we couldn't work, it was just miserable, and somebody said, you know what, let's discover air conditioner. And all of a sudden, you know, we have air conditioning. The fact we have cars, automatic cars, because people didn't know how to drive stick shift, they were getting into accidents, so somebody said, hey, let's make it automatic. So nature and evolution will do that automatically. Okay, we automatically turn the problems into a gift. We just have to know the dynamics of it. What's the dynamic that does it? So let me ask you this: has somebody overcome a major health problem here? Has anybody overcome a major health problem? Major, minor, whatever. Anybody want to share? Okay. Well, I'll share. About 2-3 weeks ago, actually no, I'll share. I at the age of 40, I hurt my leg so bad, my knee so bad that the doctor told me I would need a knee replacement. Okay, and it was quite a trauma because I was only 40 years old, and you know, he said, "There's nothing I can do. I've done what I can with arthroscopy, and now you're gonna need a knee replacement." So it was quite a blow to my ego because I'm very athletic. I wanted to play all the time, and I wanted to do fun things, and having a bad knee just stripped my style. Right. You know. And so it was quite hard. And so eventually I got the knee replacement, and now, you know, I'm back 100%. I'm playing all the sports, and you know, so life is good again. So if I had to do this again, if my other knee went bad, how would I handle that, right? So let's use this formula right here. Okay, so how can we turn our problems into a gift? Has anybody ever turned a problem into a gift? So basically what happens is, to turn a problem into a gift, like now I'm grateful that I had the knee surgery. Because of the knee surgery, I'm more careful with my left leg. You know, I don't do things that are gonna hurt me. And also I know exactly how things work inside, so I'm more careful. When I take any actions, I'm more cognizant. You know, whereas somebody else could be running and jumping and hurting their knees more, I'm more aware of that, you know, so I can protect my other knee. So I'm grateful for that, and I found out what's good in the situation is that now this knee is 100% and it's solid, and I can do things that I couldn't do. So that's what good came out of it. And the improvements that I made is I'm more careful with my knee. I take fish oil every day, which is going to help my heart and other things, right? Which I wouldn't have done if I hadn't hurt my knee. Okay, and also now I stay in the moment. I don't, I'm not careless about my knee. I'm not doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And now that I know all the facts, if anybody else has a knee problem, I can help them. Okay? And with time, I'm back 100% and better than before. So if you use the formula called GIFT, gift, you can turn your problems into a gift. So let's talk about any other problem that somebody might be facing that we can turn it into a gift, and using this dynamic right here. Yes, sir.
I had a similar sports injury. I tore a ligament in my ankle playing basketball. So now I wear a brace on it.
Knee brace.
And I'm actually doing it on my knee also. And then I still play volleyball.
Right.
50 years after that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good.
It does
Good.
though.
So what happens is, now when I have a problem, instead of getting mad and anxious and whatever, I start thanking God. I start being grateful that, hey, you gave me injury-free until this time, and now I have this problem, but I didn't have the problem until now, so I'm grateful that, I was. So, but what happens when you're grateful? What happens when you're grateful? You don't have anxiety anymore, right? The anxiety goes down. Because see, what happens is, when a problem happens, we're so overwhelmed that our mind cannot think about anything else but that problem. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes you don't have control over it, because in the world that we're living in today,
Right.
I want to talk, but without government, there is no good news, and we don't have any control over it. We don't have, and I keep thinking that this is the way people in other countries have lived for years. So,
Right.
That's a problem, for me. The news,
Right.
and you can turn it off, but then, you need to know what's going on.
See, that's what's wrong with our society, We could have a million things going right. People could be doing nice things all over the place, but that's boring news. But boy, if you do something wrong, it's all over the news, and we want to watch that. And it's so sad that we bombard our audiences with bad news, with murders, with rapes, with all these bad things. And we never even talk about all the good things that people are doing. People are coming to church, people are doing nice things, people are doing charity work, people are building bridges, people are, giving donations. Nobody talks about that. But boy, if they do something wrong, it's all over the news, and that's sad. And what that does is that tells us that the negative to positive ratio is off. It throws a negative to positive ratio, okay? Whereas the positive to negative ratio is so much more. I mean, there's so many more positive things happening in this world, but we only look at the negative things. And our body's designed like that too, You have 28 or 32 teeth, depending upon how many wisdom teeth you have left in your mouth. But if only one tooth is broken or messed up, guess where your tongue goes? Exactly. And there's 31 other teeth that are perfectly fine, but you're only focusing on that one tooth. And so our brain is trained like that to look at the negative news. So we have to change that, and we have to change that to start being grateful and start looking at the positive side. Because the minute you start being grateful, the body starts producing cortisol. Okay, and so what happens is, because when you have a problem, the anxiety will get you more in trouble. Because when you have anxiety, you can't focus on being in the moment, and you start making more mistakes. So when you become into a habit of being grateful, then that anxiety goes down. Because you realize, hey, everything is still okay. It's just a minor problem.
But it has to be a multitude. I like to piggyback on what she's saying about those things that transpire. It's like owning a newspaper. If I fill the neighborhood full of good news, I won't sell any newspaper.
Exactly.
So we have to get the neighborhood, and from the neighborhood to the nation,
Right.
into this habit of being more grateful.
Well, there are some channels that are not giving negative news. They're giving positive news, and they're being well liked nowadays. Like Good Morning America and all those. Now they're focusing on positive things that people are doing, and they're finally realizing that we're just feeding bad things to people. The worst thing you want to do is watch news at night. Okay, if you watch news at night, you're gonna have lousy sleep. You want to watch something funny, something interesting that's gonna fill your mind up with positive. Because see, our mind, whatever you focus on becomes reality for us. Whatever you focus on will become reality for you. So you want to focus on fun things. And so basically what you want to do is be grateful. And see, because eventually it is going to become good news. Any problem that happens now will eventually become good for you. A problem is actually good for you. A stress is actually good for you because it makes you more resilient, makes you more stronger, right? Because once you overcome it, because you will overcome it, right? So it's going to become good news, but knowing that going in will help you be more grateful. Okay, if you know that going in, you'll be more grateful. And also, like a problem is like one side of a coin. If you look at the other side, it's good news. Like I used to do stocks and bonds, I used to do options. And how many people know what options are? Right? Options are a right to buy, but not an obligation to buy a stock at a certain price. And 9 out of 10 times, people who buy options lose money, right? 9 out of 10 times, people who buy options lose money. Now, is that good news or bad news? That's bad news, right? But there is good news. The person who's selling that option, 9 out of 10 times is going to make money. So I started selling options. I took my portfolio from $10,000 to $550,000 in 5 years.
Wow.
Because I looked at the good news. I said, wait a minute. So you mean if I sell the options, I'm going to make money 9 out of 10 times? I like that odds better. And I started doing that. And I made a ton of money. Until I got bored. Then I said, forget it. I'm done. But what I'm saying to you is, a problem, there's two sides to a problem. There's two sides to a coin. There's good side and the bad side. Like let's say you get a ticket. Sure, it's bad news, you gotta go to court, you gotta deal with all that, but the good side is you didn't get into an accident, right? You just have to focus on the good side. So being grateful will help you look at the other side of the coin. Okay?
That works in any situation.
Absolutely.
That you have to look and find out, regardless of how bad it is.
Right, and it's a habit. It's a habit that you have to make. You have to make a habit. Anytime you have a problem, you say, thank you, God, for giving me this problem. It's like if if your tenant calls you and says, hey, the bathroom is leaking, and you go, oh my God, I'm ruined, the bathroom is leaking. Or you could say, you know what, thank God I got a rental property. Most people don't even have one house, I got a rental property also, right? Just how you look at it. So once you start being grateful, that anxiety goes away, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Okay, so then you look at the improvement. You can say, okay, so what can I do? This bathroom keeps breaking down every 3 months. What can I do? Maybe I'll go to Costco and buy a new toilet. It's only $100. Maybe I'll learn to install it, and then I'll do all the other bathrooms, so you don't have to worry about it. And then staying in the moment, and then getting all the facts. Also, once you know all the facts, you're much more freer. You're much more at ease because now you have information, and information is power, right? And also you can find other people to help. Anytime you can help somebody, it's a good thing because you're building allies, I used to have a video production company, and there were people who would come to me and say, you know what, my father died and we don't have any money to make a video of their funeral. Could you please do it? And I always do it. I never ask for money. You know why? Because those people would come back and help me so much more. They would give me more business, and because I helped them at the time of stress, and so they were my allies. So, and also time. If you give it enough time, it becomes a gift. Okay? So knowing this, I think we can turn most of our problems into a gift. Not all of them, but most of them. And that's a good thing, right? Okay, so this concludes my class. Before I go, I just want to look at that word happiness again and see how many you can recall, how many habits you can recall. And that way, at night, I want you to start doing that so that it becomes a habit and a lifestyle. So can we do that again real quick? Let's start with H. Humor. What else?
Humble.
Humble.
Hope.
Hope. Honest. Now, why does being honest make you happy?
You don't have to
You don't have to.
You, you don't have to remember the lie you told.
You don't have to worry about karma.
Exactly. No, you don't worry about karma. You don't have to worry about karma. You don't have to worry about, and there's less stress. Honest people have less stress, right? Because the more lies you tell, the more you get caught up. Okay. What about A? Attitude. Very good. Awareness. Affectionate. Actually, now we should have a test. See who remembers more, women or men. Assertive, affectionate, active. Being active will keep you happy too. And active doesn't mean active playing sports. Active could be mentally, right? I played poker. Yesterday I wasn't feeling well, and I went to play poker. It's free poker tournament. And you know what? I forgot about my problem. I was happy for 2 hours that I was there. The minute I came out, I was sick again. So being active is very, very crucial. Okay, let's go with P.
Purposeful.
Purposeful.
Patient.
Patient. Positive. Provider. Yes. Perseverance. Now, why is being a provider make you happy?
Well, number one is
You're able, exactly. You feel good about yourself that you can do something for others.
Right.
Most people can't even do for themselves, and you're doing for others. And also, people you're providing for, hopefully, will be grateful to you. Hopefully. There's no guarantee of that. Hopefully. If you provide too much, they won't be grateful. You got to provide just right. Because you can spoil them too, right? Okay, what else with P? Purposeful, playful. How about playful? Playful.
Playful.
All day long. Playful. Patience. Punctual.
Yes.
Punctual, yeah. Okay, how about problem solvers? People who can turn their problems into a gift. Okay, turn your problems into a gift, you'll be happy all the time. Okay, what about I? Oh, phone manners. Did anybody say phone manners?
No.
I want you to start doing that. Phone manners.
We talked about that earlier.
Okay, phone manners. In fact, as I said, I do a workshop, a 1 hour workshop on phone manners and etiquettes. Very good, very powerful, and we might do that one day. Okay, what else? With I. In the moment.
Intuitive.
Intuitive.
Inventive.
Inventive. Interesting. Interesting and interested. You want to be interested in other people, otherwise,
People skills.
people skills, yeah. That's P, people skills.
Yeah.
And P also stands for present. Be present. Okay. Okay. What else with I?
Insightful.
Insightful. How about independent? Very crucial. Independent. Okay.
Innovative.
Innovative. Okay. Let's go with N.
Nice.
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 Nurturing. Neat and organized. Neat and organized. Now, is neat and organized, will that create happiness or not?
Yes.
Right. A lot of people say, well, I know this person, he's a slob, but he's always happy. Right? How many people have heard that, right? But I'll tell you, this is what I found. Let's say that you're not neat and organized. Let's say you leave your keys everywhere and you throw your stuff everywhere. And let's say you have, what time is it right now? 10:45. Let's say that you have a doctor's appointment at 11 and your hospital is 15 minutes away. And you go to look for your keys and you ain't gonna find it. You don't find it. It takes you every bit of 15 minutes to find those keys. How are you gonna be driving?
He's stressed.
You gonna race.
Okay?
Road rage.
Oh yeah, Uber ain't gonna show up on time, right? What else? What else? How are you gonna? Okay, so when you're driving, how are you driving?
Fast.
Okay. What if you have a slow driver in front of you? What are you gonna do?
Oh.
Right? Are you happy now?
No.
Okay. What could happen while you're driving when you're doing 90 miles an hour on I-95, thinking that's the speed limit? What-
Young man in a blue and gray car.
Look at, yeah, you're gonna see some Christmas lights behind you, right? So when you get that ticket, are you gonna be happy?
No.
When you reach the hospital at 12:15, and the doctor says, "Sorry, I already took the other patient. We can't see you today." Are you gonna be happy?
No.
So neat and organized may not be a prerequisite, but it really helps. It really helps. Okay. So here's what I do when I'm waiting for somebody. When I have extra time, I start decluttering. And that's such a blessing because when you declutter a room, not only are you happy then, you're happy every time you come back to the room. Every time. And so that's a regenerative happiness. And those are the kind of things you want to do. Just like being creative. When you create something, not only does it give you happiness then, every time you see it, it gives you happiness. So those are some of the things you want to do. Okay, let's go back to N. Any more with N? And nature lovers. Happy people are nature lovers. Non-judgmental. Happy people are non-judgmental. Now here's two things you want to do. You want to stay away from people who judge other people, and you also want to check yourself when you're judging somebody. Make sure you check yourself. Say, oh, if I'm being judgmental, I'm not happy. So you want to keep that in mind. All right, let's go with E. How about you, ma'am? Anything with E?
Empathetic.
What did you say? Yes, E. No, with the beautiful pink hat. Efficient, yeah, being
Very
efficient.
good.
Being efficient. Being efficient, very good. What else with E? There's several with E. Energetic. I want to say easygoing is good. Energy management. Energy management. Because see, energetic is a, in God's hand. Somebody could have more energy than you, but being energy manager, good energy manager is very crucial. Okay. Exercise. We didn't talk about that. Exercise is very crucial. Now, why does exercising make you happy?
It helps you relieve stress.
It relieves stress.
Yeah.
Also, your body produces some hormones called endorphins. They're happy hormones. Anytime you
Improves your overall.
overall, yeah, and your circulation is better, your health is better. It's got so many benefits. Okay. What else? With E. Empathetic, energetic, enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Encouraging. Encouraging is very crucial. Be encouraging. When somebody tells you something, be encouraging. Oh, that's good. Or even if they tell you something bad, say, you know what, it's okay. You'll get over it. Be encouraging. Okay. All right. What about with S? Sensitive, stable, satisfied, sincere, sharing.
Sensitive.
Okay. There's a couple more. Soft-spoken. Right? Soft-spoken will always help. That's why whenever they want to deliver bad news, they have a lady do it. Have you noticed that? Because ladies can say it in a nice way and people don't mind. A guy could say a nice thing and it would be like, what did you call me? You know what I mean? So being soft-spoken is very crucial. Stable, soft-spoken, sensitive.
Self-aware,
Self-aware. There's another one that we missed.
self-compassion.
Sleep hygiene.
Okay.
Sleep hygiene. S. Because people who have good sleep hygiene are happier people.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean by sleep hygiene? Take a nice hot shower, if that works for you. What else? Going to bed at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Not drinking coffee before going to sleep. Being aware of what makes you sleep better.
Right, right.
Right? Sleep hygiene.
Clean linen.
Clean linen, yeah. No bed bugs. What else? What else? Yes, ma'am, you had something? Ma'am, did you have something? No. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So here's the trick now. All you gotta do is every night before you go to bed, think of the word happiness and start with the letter H, and think of all the habits that you practiced that day that that started with H, and then go with A all the way to the S. And whatever you didn't do, make it a point to do it next day. Okay? All right, this concludes our happiness class. Go out and be happy, and let's make this world a better place to live.
Yay.
Again, we want to thank Paul.